Life speaks. It speaks through struggles and success, through music and messages, the preconceived and the unexpected. Whether you are in the depths of the valley or in the midst of your mountaintop experience, everyone needs to be encouraged from time to time. Here we will share stories of strength, testimonies of triumph, verses of victory, observations, and information meant to touch the heart and uplift the soul, to keep you on your path of purpose and navigate this thing called life with power and authority. This is Andrea L. Hines, and I'm your host for When Life Speaks, here on ALH Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network. I am glad you accepted the invitation to join us tonight. There's something in this broadcast just for you, and if it is going to be a blessing to your life, it will be to someone else as well. So share, tag, start a watch party, and invite someone you know to join us. Then turn down the volume of life and get ready to receive, so that when life speaks, you'll speak life. Well, good evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to When Life Speaks. You have joined us right here on ALH Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network. And as you can tell, I have my co-host with me tonight. Hey there, Lynn.
Hey.
I haven't seen, Lynn hasn't been sitting in the chair over there for a minute. And I am so happy that she's with me tonight. Perfect timing, too, because we just finished with Mother's Day, and she and I had a great time together over the Mother's Day weekend. And I'm glad that we can just have sort of a conversation, a catch-up conversation. And we don't have a definite topic tonight, which is always fun. And that's why I said, just come on in and expect the unexpected. And we will see what is happening tonight. I don't know. We're just going to have a good time and just have some candid conversation and see where he leads us tonight. But I first wanted to say thank you. I mean, a lot has been going on. It's hard for me to believe that we have gotten to the point where we have just about finished the first half of the year. Can you believe
right? That's right.
In a minute, we got one more month. We have the month of June, and that is it for the beginning of 2023. We will be going in July into some new things.
Yes.
Some things that are going to be announced in June. So we're going to move ahead in July. And I want to solicit some assistance or make you aware of some openings that we have. We have different segments for the show here on When Life Speaks. We have the Power of One. We have stories of strength and testimonies of triumph. We have our leadership nuggets that we get from Pastor Steve Sims. He comes on periodically. Senior Sidebar comes on with Francina, and she keeps us up with what's going on in the area. I feel like saying on our local and national news. She lets us know what's going on. So if you are in any of those categories, if you have a story of strength that you know will encourage someone, or a testimony of triumph that you know will inspire somebody, then please give me send me an email to speaklifewithandrea@gmail.com, and we'll just, discuss the possibilities. We'll see what we can do in order to bring your story to life and let you come on and just talk to us for a little while and and help to strengthen and encourage, because that's what we're all about. Because
Mhm.
when you speak life, that's the way that you speak life. You got to speak it from a place of strength and power and authority and all that good stuff, all that
Right.
good stuff. So we've got a lot going on, got a lot coming up in this next few weeks. We are
Mhm.
22 days away from our June 10th celebration. We are 11 days away from having our ticket shut down. But I tell you what, we are looking forward to having a great day that day. So I'm gonna kind of turn things over to Miss Lynn right now. To usually when Lynn's on the show with me, we start
Excuse me.
off and I turned to Lynn and I said, Lynn, go ahead. Why don't you start? And she gives me this look like, what are
What?
you talking about? What do you want me to do? But she's kind of flipped the script on me a little bit, because
Yep.
I said, well, Lynn, I got this topic and we can do it this time or we can do it later. What do you think? And she said, no, I've got something in mind. But she didn't really tell me what it was. So
Go.
I'm looking at the new gate tonight because I don't know for sure what she's got going on, but I'm gonna kind of turn it over to you. Hold my breath a little bit and turn it over to
It's
you,
gonna be
Miss
okay.
Lynn.
It's gonna
What?
be.
And see what
I
you
know it's gonna
got.
be okay because I can't spring things on you, and the fact that I didn't give you any information is throwing you off.
Yeah.
So the fact that you told your listeners to expect the unexpected, I thought that that was perfect. I decided that I wanted, my schedule since the last time we were on is just, it's all over everywhere. So I used to be on with you every Thursday, then it went to every other Thursday, to not at all till I have to like figure out when I can come on. So, and I think we scheduled this like at the end of March, first
It's
part of
this
April,
month. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it was like pick a date. I was like, May is open. Pick the date and pick it now, so I can pencil it and get it in. So it all worked out, and it. I didn't think of it being right after Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day again. I
Thank
love
you.
you. So, but I thought we would do something a little differently because you do have an event coming up on June 10th. But I know that oftentimes that you're on, you've got your 8 at 8 that people follow you on. You have your ALH broadcasting that people follow you on. And there's different times that people know different things about you. But I felt that this was a wonderful time for us to interview you. You interview everybody else. Look at you.
Oh,
Breathe, Andrea. Breathe.
oh Lord.
Breathe. Breathe. It's not going to be hard. Trust me.
Okay.
Because I can't do but so much talking because I can't figure out where all of this issue around my throat is coming from. But I thought it would just be, I don't think people really know the diversity of Andrea L. Hines. Now,
Mm.
you're my mom. I know you, but I don't know if the people know if you are an author, you're a poet, you paint, you're an actress, you're a producer, you are a director. I don't think they really know those things about you. So I thought it would be a great time for us to do a fireside chat just to get to know you. You talk about everybody else, you have their stories on, but today we're going to get your story. Now, I'm going to give the part that I know. I know my mama was born and raised in Washington, D.C. No, I didn't even get a bio. I didn't ask for a bio.
No, you
I
didn't.
didn't. I didn't do any of that because, I am a different kind of person. I don't like the bullet point topics. I like the free topics. I like to just freely talk because to me, it's not rehearsed. To me, you just have a wonderful opportunity to like get to know the person in their authentic self. So, with that being said, um, we're not going to take everything so far back, but I don't even think that some people know that you went to broadcasting school.
Right, I did.
You went to broadcasting school. So I do believe that there was an opportunity for you to audition for a role that would have led you to a nationally syndicated program that is still running.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think people know that my mother had the opportunity. Do I say that? I do this every time. I don't know whether or not I'm supposed to call you my mom on the show, but you had the opportunity to audition for Sesame Street.
Well, wasn't quite an audition.
What was it? Tell us.
Tell us what it was. Hey, Bernice. Hey, Ida. Good evening, ladies. Glad to have you. Share the show. I was actually just looking for a job. I needed a job. It was after we had lost everything in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a job, and there was a job at the station. They had this new program starting, and I would have been able to learn how to operate the camera and do a lot of the background kinds of things in getting the show together. And the show happened to be and turned out to be Sesame Street.
Right.
And I wasn't able to take it because I had a young daughter, had a baby girl, and the timing of it was really weird hours. It was, and I wouldn't have been getting off until like 7 in the evening, and I didn't have a car at the time, and there were just a lot of things that got in the way. Um, and I don't regret it at all. Things happen sometimes, and there's always another path, and a different path that he wants you to take. And you mentioned me going to broadcasting school. I did not go to broadcasting school to be a broadcaster. I did not
Wow.
have any aspirations or expectations of being on the radio or TV or anything like that. I went because I wanted to use my voice as a narrator.
Mhm.
I wanted to narrate children's books. So that's why I went to broadcasting school. I had went, I think it was either Baltimore or Philadelphia, that once I finished school, they promised to find you a job and all of that. And I went, and that's where I auditioned, and it was for an FM program, midnight to something, which suited my voice. And I went up and I cut my demo tape and, went through all of that. And they took me out to dinner and wonderful things. And I got right on that train and came back home. I thought, I am not moving. But that's kind of the story of opportunities that you miss sometimes when you're afraid. And I was really just afraid. I thought, I'd be by myself. I don't know anybody there. I've got a child, how am I going to handle this, that, and the other? And as a result of that, I didn't take it. I didn't take the job. And I think it would have taken me on an entirely different path than the one I ended up on. As a result of that, I ended up being an extra in some movies, and from that went into live theater, and from that became an artistic director of a theater company. And all of that came out of broadcasting school. Which
Now you're skipping over something.
okay.
You're skipping over your time when you were at IBM. And you're skipping over that. You're skipping over the time when you were, most people don't know, they used to, I'm going to say they were conferences, but I don't think that's actually the name of it. But I remember it was called AIEC. I remember that. And I remember you auditioning. And I remember you were able to travel and go to different places because you were accepted, and you had to learn dance routines and you had to sing. So
Yeah.
I think, that still goes back to your broadcasting, and that still taps into the theatrical side of you, that while you may not have done the radio station or ended up being Sesame Street for you, you still were able to use your gifts and your talents. Because we always say, the scripture tells us that your gifts and talents will make room for
We'll
you.
make room for you. Yeah.
So you've had the opportunity to go to, I think when you were in New Orleans one time.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were in California, and I know you were in California because I really wasn't supposed to be there, y'all.
Right.
But I'm going to tell a story before she tell it. I was in awe. First of all, I'm upstairs with the people who do the lights, camera, action. I'm upstairs with them, and I have my camera, and I was rehearsing with my mom. I was making sure she knew her lines, knew the words to the songs, and all of that. I felt like I was such a part of it that when I got to see it live, it really was a production.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your high school production. Of course, this is IBM. So it was a production. So, and I think a couple of times you all had professional dancers.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yes,
We did.
you all, I'm not supposed to be seen. Understand, right. I am not supposed to be seen. Please understand, I am not supposed to be seen. I'm supposed to be upstairs, hidden, tucked away. I am downstairs on the floor, almost on the stage, can touch it, taking pictures. My mother is twirling and spinning, and she looks, and it's like, what? Not supposed to be there, but it was like, it was surreal for me. I've always been into the theater. You've always made sure that I saw the theater. I mean, we did Broadway plays all the time. So to actually sit down and see it, and to me, it was like a Broadway production, so watching you do that, and I know that you've got that, she's got a theater bug about her. I don't know if y'all know that, but my mom can write her own play. Okay, she really can, and she's done that. She really has done it. So do you think you will go back into that? Do you think that you will develop something, a theater company or something like that in the near future?
I don't know. I wanted to, when I moved here to North Carolina, and a lot of people may not even know this, but I was done. I had left the singing group that I had been in for a while. I had left all things familiar, and I had just resigned from my role as artistic director for the theater company that I had in DC called Tacoma Players. And I was done. I was through. I wasn't going to do it anymore. Wasn't mad, didn't walk away mad, just kind of walked away from it all. But they were doing a production at church. And at the very last minute, one of the leading people said she couldn't do it. She had to go out of town or something happened. And they asked me to step in. And I did, but I did it kicking and screaming. I mean, I know I was like, this isn't fair. I don't want to do this. And then one of the other people came up and said, because I had been coaching them through in rehearsals, and they came up to me and said, if you're up there with us, we'll be okay. And at that point, I said, okay, I've got something to do here that has nothing to do with me. So I went on and I did it. And the fire was lit once again. You know? And I had gone to my pastor at the time or later on, and I asked him to pray about something for me. And I said, I really think I want to start a theater company. And I had a new name and everything, and
Mhm.
had everything in mind that I was going to do. And he said, well, why don't you do it here at the church? And I said, well, you know, I could. Yeah, okay. I can do that.
Mhm.
But my idea was to incorporate drama into special holidays like Christmas,
Mhm.
Easter, you know, things like that.
Mhm.
And instead, he said, well, why don't you do it at once a month? And I thought, well,
Mhm.
I'm not, and that's the way this is supposed to go, because I know the work that it takes. I know the
Right.
commitment and the sacrifice that it takes for people who do it all the time.
Right.
But by the time I got home, God had given me, and I mean it had to be God, had given me a complete layout. He had given me the title. He said, you're going to do a Sunday morning sitcom. You're going to call it Pathway to Purpose. You're going to have a company of people, and you're going to talk about their lives with kingdom conclusions, fictional situations, but with kingdom conclusions.
Mhm.
So we had a mayor who had a storyline. We had the pastor of the church and his wife that had a storyline. We had the kids in the
Mhm.
community, and we did it every fourth Sunday. We did it for, gosh, I want to say at least 3 years, if not four.
Mhm.
And then it was just time to shut it down. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes God will just show you that it's time to transition. I have had people ask me about doing a one woman show
Mhm.
again, because I did three of those. And
Mhm.
I'm I'm toying with that.
Mhm.
I'll see what happens. If I do it, it will probably be next year. If I
Okay.
do it, it'll probably be
Okay.
next year.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, with that, you when you moved to North Carolina, I have to say this part of my mom cracks me up. Just when she moved, now she's got the theater bug. She was singing, so that's that side of her. It seems like when she moved to North Carolina, something else came out that I didn't know that was in there. I don't know people. I don't think they know that you paint watercolor. Now that she moved down here to North Carolina and took a painting class, she was painting watercolors. From there, it became arts and crafts. She was doing. Remember your Christmas angels
Oh my
that you
God.
used to do. Let me tell you, you all. She had a pure. It was a sweatshop. Let me tell you. And she will tell you to this day, I don't cut nothing. I know. You want me to glue it? I'm not caught. No, she made, and she's so, oh my God, it's just time consuming. And I am not that person. And my grandma, I was telling Jasmine, I was sharing with her how my grandmother used to make handkerchiefs
Yep.
and how she would stitch the edge because she didn't own a sewing machine.
Right.
And it was almost as if it was embroidery or cross stitch, but she did everything by hand. And if you wanted your handkerchief to have your initial, she literally wrote the initial out and then stitched it. And she was trying to teach me how to stitch it so I could help her. She gave me a piece of material. Y'all, I knew then that was not my calling. That was not my calling. Because by the time I had gotten so frustrated trying to get that stitch that reminded me of a knit one, purl two, whatever it was, I had cut that piece of material and made my doll a dress. my doll had an evening gown. It had straps and a movement on the side.
But nothing but the handkerchief.
No, I was done. She didn't ask me no more either. Because when she looked over, it was like, Lord have mercy. I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not me. But my mom took time, and it reminded you of almost like the Fabergé egg. She had like that styrofoam, but she literally took fabric and folded it and would have little pleats all around the egg. And I was just like, ma'am, no, no, not doing it. But and then we had somebody that was living it with us. It was like in a whole assembly line at Christmas. We were like, look, we don't get paid for that. But it is still keeping with her creativity, that side of her that goes beyond, she's very detailed oriented. You're never going to get anything from her that is not perfection. And she cares about what she does, and she cares about how she does it, and she plans it out, and she over plans it.
Overthink. I'm an overthinker.
Woo, my God. But that works for you, and that's just how you are. But I love the fact that she did the watercolor painting, she did the Christmas ornaments, and then we went into greeting cards. Did you all know that my mother does greeting cards? Let me tell you, she does handcrafted greeting cards. Wonderful. But I'm gonna go back, because some people don't really know that you were a poet. My mother used to take her poetry and put it to watercolor. Okay. My mother,
I would
handwrite it. Yes.
That's
She would put the line on the paper and literally handwrite, not doing the whole printing from the computer to make it look like it was handwritten. She literally took her time to handwrite it. But this is the amazing thing. My mother sent in one of her poems to be put on Blue Mountain Art.
Yeah.
I don't know if people still go to the Hallmark greeting cards and know anything about Blue Mountain Art. There's something that is absolutely awesome when you go in, and I can't even remember which poem it was, but I remember the Hallmark store that I was in. It was actually the Hallmark store that's I don't know if I can tell that address. Better not do that. We don't want to get us in trouble. But here in Raleigh, it was a Hallmark store. And it was so awesome because I walked in, and I'm a card person. I love to buy cards. I love to send cards. And I look over, and it's my mom's card. It's my mom's poetry on the Blue Mountain Art card. I'm sitting there, and the lady was like, oh, this card must have moved you. And I was like, no, that's my mom. So, I mean, that to me was like awesome.
Yeah.
To go into the store and see your mother's work on a card. And Blue Mountain Art is right up there with Hallmark. It's right up there with American Greetings. It is something that's nationally known. So it was here in Raleigh, and I could just imagine how many other places it went. So you all don't know that about her. This is Expect the Unexpected. So you're going to find out lots of little tidbits on tonight. Yes. So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that now. Whew.
That poem was called Friends.
Was it? Okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. Okay.
And Blue Mountain Arts put it everywhere. They put it on a calendar. They put it in a book. They put it in a card. And the thing about it is, when you, as wonderful as it was to see, the only thing that you as the writer got from it is they would always put your name on your work.
Right.
There was no royalty for you. There
Nothing.
was no money that you got once they paid you an initial fee. So I learned something. I learned. That's how I ended up with my own line of cards.
Right. But I'm gonna do a funny near the end. But as you all know, that she's an author. Now I think it was last year, or year before last. I'm getting my time frame. I know we were in COVID. That part I
Yeah.
remember. But you wrote your first fictional book, and it was called The Train.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, doo-doo-doo-doo, she's so awesome, y'all. Who comes out with two books at one time? Who does that? First of all,
Jesus.
because that's right, you're his pen, so he uses you. But who does this? I mean, no, seriously, not just one book and then maybe 2 months later you come out with the sequel book or something. You released two books at one time. One called And It Is So, and the other Masters of the Mask. Now, if I wanted to purchase this book, first give us just a little snippet of what each book is, and then tell us how we can get a copy if we need to.
Okay. Masters of the Mask came out of a conversation that I was having with somebody. And we were talking about the fact that we hide, how often it is that we hide. We talk about the many caps that we wear, many hats that we wear, many roles that we play, and all of that. And there is a mask. There is a mask. And it's fine as long as you don't get stuck behind it.
Right.
Fine as long as it doesn't, that the mask does not become who you are, doesn't take away your real identity. So I kind of explore where we are most likely to wear a mask and the things that you have to do to keep yourself from being in a place where you can't take the mask off.
Right.
So it's it's a powerful little thought-provoking book. And I actually, when I finished it, one of my beta readers was a clinical psychologist, because I really wanted to make sure that my perspective was not so far off the mark, because I never want to harm. I always want to help. So that's where Masters of the Mask came from. And It Is So is volume 1, actually, of the best of 8 at 8. COVID produced and did a program in the morning and in the evenings, 8 a.m. in the morning for 8 minutes and 8 p.m. in the evening for 8 minutes. And it's just to give you, I don't care where you are, it's kind of like when we talk about money and we talk about things being tight. If you have $100 and you need 99 for something else, let's say after you paid your tithe and done all you had to do, you're in a tight. Well, if you have $1 million and all of it is gone except for 200, you're still in a tight. Tightness is a tight, no matter where you're
no matter
on the spectrum. So everybody needs to be encouraged. Everybody has a story. Everybody has challenges. Everybody has issues. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, God is gracious enough to give me a poetic verse. And it's almost always in rhyme, because that's the way he deals with me. And it's just something to encourage you. It's the victory verse, and then there'll be what I call a positive point of power, which is usually very few words, but that's the piece you can hold on to during the day. And when things happen, you can just kind of repeat that, because I had just finished the book of affirmations. And we need to be able to do better at talking to ourselves.
Right.
We are killing ourselves. We're killing our blessings. We're killing our strength. We're killing our hopes and our dreams by the words that we speak.
Yep.
So this is something to kind of keep you on a path. It's like a devotional, if you choose to call it that. And because I have I think since starting that 8 at 8, I probably have pretty close to 500 pieces. And
Wow.
I will not be using all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I will be using some.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the volumes that are going to be created over time. So
That
that's what
is
that's about.
awesome. 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 Now, let's come to the current because I'm looking at the time. Um, now, uh, right now, if we take everything back to full circle, and the fact that you went to broadcasting school, not necessarily trying to be on the radio or on television or on the air, here we are at ALH Broadcasting. Ta-da! So, not only do you have an amazing platform on StreamYard with ALH Broadcasting, you also have other people who have their own show
Yep.
on your broadcasting. You have Authors Up. I am not going to try to name them all because
Oh, and beautiful.
that is what I was trying to say.
Yes.
That is, I was coming up with Fearfully and Wonderful. That was not the name of that, and I was going to give it a new show.
Oh,
But for those who did not hear or came on late, you still have spots that are available for people who are interested. Um, Let me tell you, you want to be with somebody who's going somewhere. Sometimes we think we always want to be with that person who we perceive to already have arrived. There is something about being with somebody who has a starting out. But you are coming up on 5 years. 5,
years.
the number of grace. You are coming up on 5 years in broadcasting on a show, on the air. 5 years. And you are doing a major celebration, and it is called Make It Count. And that is going to be on June 10th. Can you please tell your captivating audience how they can get tickets, where the location will be? I can tell you, because I'm her child, she's putting a lot of time into this. This isn't just something she wants to do. And I really want you all to come out because you say you love her. If you love her, support her. If you want to push her, show up and support her because nothing says I love you or supports more than when you show up for something. Let her know that you believe in the next 5 years that she's getting ready to do by showing up to make it count. Because I promise you, this is an event you don't want to miss. If you don't know anything about my mom, you know the letter A in her first name means it's just the letter A, but that is what you're going to get. She gives first class on everything she does. She is A plus. Okay. So if you want to come and you want to support, tell them how they can get a ticket. Tell them what the deadline is. Let them know how much it costs. And I do believe you are looking for a vendor. I
Yeah.
think you have one spot open. So if anybody is listening and you are in the Raleigh, Durham, Cary area here in North Carolina, and you want to get your business out there, you want to be a vendor, make sure you reach out to this lady this evening so you can secure your spot. Tell us how we can get those tickets.
All righty. I tell you what, Lynn, you have
Put you out there. Expect the
somebody talks
unexpected.
about me. It just, it's not a false humility, but I appreciate everything you said, but I am also a hider. I can stay behind the scenes a long time and be okay with that. But it's going to be on Saturday, June the 10th, first of all, and it's going to start at 5 p.m. Doors are opening at 4:45, and it's from 5 to 7:30. It's going to be in Nightdale.
Mm-hmm.
On the Facebook, the information is out there on Facebook, and it has all of the telephone number, the RSVP number. I will give you the phone number now that you can call to get further details. It is 919-782-5700. 5405. That's 919-782-5405. And when you call that number, it'll give you all of the details that you need to know. Most of the payments are being done via Cash App, so that information will be there as well. Deadline for tickets is Monday, the 29th of this month, the 29th of May.
Mhm.
And it's important that I adhere to that because there's some special things that I want to do. And I need to know who is coming. So some of you will be getting calls from me because I have sent personal invitations out to the guests that have been on the programs, either When Life Speaks or throughout the other programs that are a part of ALH Broadcasting. And it's going to be, I don't know, you follow what you believe God leads you to do. And he said, you start the second quarter with an event, and that was the reading for his glory, and end with an event, and that's make it count. Now, I'm not sure what he's going to do. He showed up in April 29th, and it was wonderful to be able to read the pieces that he had given me. I don't know what's going to happen at this next one. We're going to have some vendors who are selling. We're going to have 4 nonprofit organizations there that are going to be able to tell you about the work that they are doing in the community. And some things can be done on more than a local level. So you'll get to hear from some people, see some people. Make it count. When you come out with the idea to make it count.
Yes.
There's a connection there for you. There's going to be a resource there for you. Don't know who or what. And Angie Oliphant, who is the host of Whole and Beautiful, is going to be up from South Carolina. And I am so glad that she is going to be with us that evening. Ida's already got her ticket. Ida's going to be there. And so a lot of the people who have supported, who have been part of the programs, who have given their story, who have given their time, are going to be a part of the event. And I really want people to come out, not just for me, but there's something there for you that's going to be beyond the food. Because you're going to be eating from 5 o'clock to 7:30. So we're going to have a little video presentation. We're going to dance. I got a great DJ. And it's going to be just a really, really awesome event. And I don't know, Alan, if you can, I guess, should I go ahead and put that Cash App in there, Lynn? Yes, no, you think?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm always leery about posting my
Okay.
Cash App, and unless I give it to you directly and I know you.
Okay.
Because people do.
And that's good because things are what they are.
Yeah.
And anytime that you want to reach me, you can reach me through the email. Speak with
what is it?
at gmail.com.
Say it again.
Speak life with Andrea at gmail.com.
Y'all just don't know. Every time when I would do the show with her, especially when I did it every Thursday, you would think I would know the email address. And my mother was like, give them the email. I'd be like, at Gmail, because that's the part I knew.
Gmail.com.
You all, I thank you for listening. I thank you for allowing me to interview you, even though you didn't know what I was going to be doing and you expected the unexpected. I thank you for your viewers who follow you. I applaud you for your tenacity, the fact that you did it for 5 years. I'm looking forward for the next 5 for you. And, my mom, I said I was going to end with something funny. And because she did this, I feel like I can. She said that, food, my mother's going to feed you. I'm always the one, girl, get in people cheese and crackers. And let's go. She's like, no, if you come at that time, that time of the evening, then it needs to be this. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, but I'm going to end on this and she'll probably get me. But it's said to expect the unexpected. Now, my mother's a cooker. She loves to cook. She is a presenter of foods. You know, she loves it looking nice and pretty and beautiful. But y'all don't ever let my mama bake for you.
Anything.
Some things
If
you gotta know your lane, and we
biscuit,
know
you
as
don't
a
want
family, baking. Oh no, you want her to cook something, marinate it, season it, fry it, broil it, whatever. Baking, no ma'am, don't do it. Everybody has their lane. That is not hers. All of the other lanes, she can drive down with no problem. She can write it. What was that song? I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. She can do all of that. Don't have her try to sift no flour and bake you nothing. That ain't, that's, no. That's not, no, that's not, no ma'am, thank you. Because she'll tell me, you want me to bake your cake? That's okay. We good. We good with that. Guys, I thank you so very much. It is now 7:40 something, 7:46 if I'm looking at that time right. I do believe your next show, join her first of all. For those of you who follow her at 8 at 8, she will be back on at 8 a.m. in the morning tomorrow and then at 8 p.m. in the evening. You don't want to miss anything that she has. If you want to come to the event, make sure that you reach out to her to get your ticket. Secure your spot. I've been working with her on this event, and I promise you, she is not going to let you down. You are going to have the time of your life. Those of you who have gotten your ticket, thank you so much for supporting. Those of you who have not gotten your ticket, remember, May 29th, Monday, May 29th is your cutoff. Y'all, please don't miss the cutoff. Don't miss the cutoff. Do what you need to do. Make that connection, make that contact, secure your ticket, secure your spot, show your love, show your support. And I can't wait to see you all on Saturday, June 10th. Make it count. And as always, remember, when life speaks, you speak life.
Thank you for being on, everybody. And Lynn, thank you so much. I was a little worried there, nervous, didn't know what you were going to do. But I do appreciate you, and I miss you. I miss you when you're not with me. So I hope that you will be able to make some time in the second half of the year to come on and be with me right here. Thanks to SIBN for all you do. Alan Chaffins, we thank you so much for just hanging in with us and trying to make sure that we have the best programming possible. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for the last 5 years. It's been a good run. Thank you, everybody, for being on. Share the program, all the programs when you to come on, because there's somebody out there who needs to hear some of these stories of triumph, who need to be a part of Angie's whole and beautiful nation, as she calls it. I said, I got people who listen. She got a whole nation. But, you know,
That's right.
It's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful place to be. And I thank all of you. And I thank the village that weighs in on some of the programs sometimes. And next week, I will probably be on by myself. I'll do an E2 next week. And we'll see. We'll see what God has in store. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you, Lynn, for co-hosting. You did a great job as always. And we'll see what happens next week, because I'll be right back here at 7 p.m. God bless you, everybody. And
God bless you. Good night. Love you.
Thank you.
Welcome.